Next bout of the night, another international contest. This one between Ulisses Isobe from South America and Dominic Hopkins on the left of screen with the red tag from Australia. Ulisses Isobe, the Sao Paulo champion and South American Kyokushin champion, also placed second in the World Cup in Paris this year. Only 20 years old, Mark, and he's been training for 10 years.
Well, he is the son of course, Shihan Isobe, who was doing some of the centre refereeing before, one of the pioneers of the martial art that we're seeing on display here tonight. So he's got a lot to live up to.
And up against Dominic Hopkins, 29 years old, trains in Brisbane. He's been training for 11 years and a two-time Australian lightweight champion.
Well, Dominic Hopkins is, of course, an instructor at his own club. He's an instructor in his own right, running a club there in Brisbane, and he is also a very experienced competitor, one of the best Kyokushin full contact exponents in Australia today.
Isobe just powering in with the round kick to the ribs. Hopkins just sizing up his slightly shorter Japanese opponent. There's the close range knees, three of them in succession. Well done by Dominic Hopkins.
Well, Ulisses Isobe, Michael, is 20 years of age and he's been training for 10 years. So half of his life has been spent doing karate. Dominic Hopkins, 29 years of age, he's been training for 11 years. Both fighters 70 kilos, so very even matchup.
Isobe, spinning hook kick. Same technique we just saw Judd Reed knock out Stephen Takawa with. And a whipping round kick, not enough power behind it though from Isobe to the ribs. And there's a turning kick from Dominic Hopkins.
Isobe switching stance, he goes from orthodox to southpaw. And he's renowned for his kicking ability. He's a very flexible young man, Ulisses Isobe from Brazil.
Isobe moving quite well around the ring. Hopkins powers in with that leg kick to the outside left thigh. Nice inside leg kicks there from Dominic Hopkins as well. Powerful inside leg kicks from Isobe and then cracks one up to the ribs. Hopkins fires back with reverse punches to the body. Close range turning kick. Didn't quite find the mark for Hopkins. Turning kick from Isobe. Looking for the midsection, just whipped up that right round kick, and there's a sample of the great flexibility and agility of the man from South America. And there's the end of the first round of action, and earlier on this evening we spoke to Australia's Dominic Hopkins.
Good, I've been working on what I think I need to, so just to I'm concentrating on those areas that I was lacking, and I think I'll do all right.
So you picked up a little bit from fighting him in Paris, and you've been preparing according to that?
Yeah, I have. Doing a lot of sparring with people his size, working on strength of my hands, stuff like that, yeah.
Well, Dominic Hopkins saying he's worked with a lot of people of Isobe's size. That certainly helps, because if you can square up against people around the size of your opponent, which is obviously the same size as Hopkins, is 70 kilo as well, you get sort of briefed for what is to come. Dominic Hopkins, as I said, an instructor in his own right, he is a very clued up fighter, and he's going to put on a good battle against the South American Ulisses Isobe.
8 seconds out.
We're ready to rumble in the second round of action. Australia versus South America. Dominic Hopkins on the left of screen. Ulisses Isobe from Brazil.
Well, could this be another victory for the Aussies? They're starting to stamp their authority on the internationals. Take nothing away from the internationals though. These are world-class competitors, each and every one of them.
Inside leg kick by Isobe. Gets a lot of power behind them.
Have a look at Hopkins, good straight punching. he really fires his punches in long and straight, right into the chest of Isobe.
Inside leg kick there from Hopkins. Moves in with the body punches. Isobe has a real whipping motion on those round kicks, Mark, to the ribs.
Well, he certainly does. I tell you what, Michael, some of these, sometimes people watch this style of fighting and they're, oh, there you see Isobe again trying with that heel kick, but he lost his footing once again. As I was saying, sometimes you see this style of fighting and it's not so clear about the power of the technique because they are striking at uniform. But having been a competitor and basically starting my career in this full contact Kyokushin Karate, moving on through to kickboxing, boxing and Muay Thai, this was probably one of the hardest styles of fighting to master and get conditioned for, because your shins are copping it, your thighs are getting banged up, and not only that, but your chest is just getting reddened and bruised up to boot, ribs, everything is really being conditioned and banged up in this style of fighting. Mentally it makes you very tough, physically it makes you very tough, and you really have to train in this style to appreciate it fully.
Another spectacular display there from Ulisses Isobe. Hopkins powering away with those body shots. One of his strong points indeed. Close range knee. And another one off the left knee this time. And there's the end of the second round of action.
Well, Hopkins doing well for himself. He's pushing forward all the time. Ulisses Isobe is showing some great spectacular kicks. But earlier tonight we spoke to Isobe, and let's just hear what he had to say.
I just have to I train everything that I have to training. So now I just have to try to apply all the techniques that I have learned.
You are fighting Dom Hopkins, the Australian lightweight champion.
Yes.
You fought him once before?
Yes, I fought against Dominic in Paris, and the fight was a draw.
So it was a draw, and you're hoping for success tonight.
Yeah, I hope that. Now we have to decide the fight.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is the decider, as Ulisses Isobe said. With the rounds remaining, we'll see just who comes out on top after their draw in Paris.
And Dominic Hopkins there receiving some words from Australia's full contact superstar Gary O'Neill, who we will be seeing later on in our main event against Marcos Costa from South America. But at the moment, Dominic Hopkins has his own problems with the man from South America, Ulisses Isobe, but doing very well at the moment and hoping to notch up another victory for the Australian team. We're ready for the third round. Bare knuckle full contact karate action here at the arena in Geelong.
And look at Hopkins go. He started like a bomb. He's doing really well. Long range techniques, I like it. He's firing, there you see the leg kick and the spinning kick.
A whipping spinning hook kick it was there from Dominic Hopkins. Oh, and Isobe replies with one of his own. He says, if you can do it, Dominic, so can I.
But, Hopkins just closing the gap, which of course nullifies those spinning kicks. Your opponent has to be spot on range. There's a spinning back kick.
Excellent spinning back kick. Forced Isobe back a couple of paces with that power. And Isobe just whipping those round kicks up to the head area again. But Dominic Hopkins can see them coming and steps out of the way.
He's got a very sort of unique kick, Ulisses Isobe, with that roundhouse kick off the lead leg, because it goes up high and then it whips downward very quickly, which is somewhat a different style of roundhouse kick off the lead leg. Usually they just cut straight horizontally across, but Ulisses really whips them around in a sort of semicircle fashion.
You can hear the large crowd rallying behind both men. There's the aerial view. And the turning kick, as seen overhead from Dominic Hopkins. Isobe just powering in with that round kick off the left leg to the ribs. Hopkins firing in a close range knee.
Nice and light on his feet is Dominic Hopkins. Obviously, you can't hit what's not there. That's Hopkins' philosophy. And he keeps moving and just parrying that front kick, the spinning kick from Isobe.
And the grace and apparent ease with which Isobe executes that spinning hook kick, Mark, it's breathtaking to watch.
Well, he's very fluent with it. It's one of his favourite techniques, obviously. There's that spinning, or there's that roundhouse kick that I was talking about earlier, how it whips down, and again the spinning hook kick on the way down, thrown by Ulisses.
The end of the round, another spectacular ending from Ulysses Isobe. And Mark the Hammer, that's the end of this fight. How did you see it? It'll go down to the judges.
It was once again, you know, you would have to say I can see why these fighters got the draw. But, Hopkins doing very well for himself here tonight, and it's going to be a close one. It's going to go to the judges.
And just as the scores are tallied up here, once again, cheers to Corrigal from Canada, who refereed that bout. We thank him for coming out.
Thank you.
And trust that he's had an enjoyable tournament. And the judge's decision on the close one with a score of 90 to 87, and the winner, Dominic Hopkins.
And there's the victory to Australia's own Dominic Hopkins. Dominic, of course, runs the Brisbane dojo at Kyokushin Karate. And if you're interested in training with Dominic, 1300 3666 80, 1300 3666 80.